Thanks for staying with us. In a recent interview with Tourism Minister Stephen Cadiz, he mentioned that exit surveys given to tourists in this country indicate a need for better customer service. It seems like tourists and locals alike have at least one customer service horror story. This week on Marketplace 101, we talk with Nicholas Bengochea of the Customer Service Academy about customer service and the value of customer service training.
Meet Bobby. He prides himself on working hard, being a good friend, and treating his customers well, treating some better than others. Because his mind was still on the argument from home. He was distant and distracted. Bob felt bad and confused about how he treated his friends. Bobby's company sent him to the Customer Service Academy for training. He learned that how he treated people was affected by the situation and his mood. To control how he dealt with people, he first needed to be in control of himself. Now he's able to give good customer service. It's about how we treat people, personal development of the individual first.
Trinidad and Tobago is known for the warmth and friendliness of its people. Yet for some reason that does not translate into good customer service. What's the reason for that?
I think the reason for that is industry in Trinidad has traditionally been built on the oil and gas and the manufacturing industries. And these two industries, the real value, the quality of the offering comes from a physical product. So service has never really been worked into the culture, into the atmosphere, because the focus has always been on the physical. So we've never really developed that culture of customer service. And another point is this lack of training. You know, a lot of us look at some of the other Caribbean islands and say they have such nice people, but they also have such nice customer service. A reason for this, though, is that hospitality is something that is worked into their schooling system from young. So we have people that from the moment they leave the schooling system, they understand what service is. They understand what it takes to give good customer service. Now, this is not something that we have in Trinidad. You know, a lot of us tend to get angry at people that say, okay, well, they have such bad customer service. But the fact is they haven't been trained with customer service. So it's very difficult for us to judge someone on something that they've never been trained on. So I think that training and the history of industry in Trinidad is what has caused us to reach a point where even though we have friendly people, we don't have friendly customer service.
So it's not a matter of having a nice personality translating into good service. It's actually training that improves customer service.
Yes. Yes and no. Training is very important, but the amount of training you need is heavily impacted on the person's personality. Now, in the explanation, we said that customer service is just how you treat people. Now, you can train someone to say, okay, well, these are the steps of service. But if it is you have someone who's not genuinely a people person, it's going to take a lot of training. It's going to take a lot of drilling. It's going to take a lot of errors and reworks to get that person up to that level. But if it is you start with someone who is friendly, who genuinely likes people, who sometimes talks a bit too much because they're that friendly, it's going to be easier to train them and to get them to give good customer service. So I think that although personality is not the is-all and end-all of customer service, it does provide you with a very good foundation for training.
So as a recruiter looking for frontline employees, what do I look for? How do I identify that people person?
A switch from an interview to a conversation, Kristle. I think when a lot of us are interviewing prospective employees, we try to ask them proper questions. We try to find out what skills do they have, what do they think about this, what do they think about that. But the problem is, these days, a lot of people rehearse their answers. They know the kind of questions they're going to get in interviews, and so they have an official answer for it. But the thing is, you can't get someone's personality from that kind of interview. So what we try to tell people to do is to switch from that. After you have your interview, and probably even just on 5 minutes on the walk out, you talk to the person. You ask them personal questions. You ask them, what do they think about random situations? And the goal here is not to find out their personal information. The goal here is to get them to move away from the official interview and to just talk. To just talk to you, to just relax around you. And when that person is relaxed, when they're just talking about what they think random stuff, then is when you can pick out, is this person a people's person? Is this person someone who is going to be able to deal with a lot of customers on a daily basis and not get angry?
Can anyone be trained in customer service?
Yes. Some of the questions we get asked when we go into companies is, we don't believe that everyone can be trained. We have some people that are good and that's how they are, and some people that are bad and we cannot train them. This is wrong. Everyone can be trained. The issue is, how much training do they need? Now, one of our philosophies is that before you can give good customer service training, before you can give good customer service, you need to be in control of yourself. You need to have that balance in your life. Now, a lot of people may find that balance easy to come by, but some people find that balance very hard, be it some situation in their life or something from their past. But everyone can achieve that balance. The issue is, how much time do they take and how much help do they need to get that balance? But everyone can be trained.
Customer service training, though, is a bit expensive. And in the service industry here, there tends to be rather high turnover. How do you convince, or is it worth the while of an entrepreneur or business owner to train his staff?
I actually think it is imperative that they train their staff if we think about turnover. You see, one of the things we also preach as well is that balance. When we talk about balance, we talk about people understanding what role do they have to play in the outcome of situations. When people don't understand that, people think that, okay, this situation went bad because of my boss, it went bad because of the customer, because of the company, because of the product. They don't ever stop to think, okay, well, what did I do in that situation? How could I have helped that situation get better? If it is, they never stop to take that moment to think, okay, where did I go wrong? They would constantly think that the problem is where they are. So they keep jumping from here, jump into this company, jump into that industry, because they think that they're never wrong, and it's always the situation that is causing that pain. So in order to deal with this, we need to train people that you are in control of yourself. How you react, how you deal with situations, and the outcome of situations, you have a big part to play in it. And so when you train people, and when we train people to understand that, we find a lot of decrease in turnover, because people start seeing that, you know what, this company isn't that bad. The customers aren't that bad. They're a bit tricky because I have to be in control of myself and I have to be friendly. I have to be able to deal with these situations. Then you start seeing a decrease in turnover because people start seeing that I am in control of the outcome, not the outcome in control of me. I'm in control of the situation, not the situation in control of me.
I've invested in customer service training as a business owner, and my customer service levels have improved. My turnover rate has decreased. Now I think it's okay. Well, maybe I can stop the customer service training, the staff have it together. But then it turns out that customer service levels start falling. That's a very strange dynamic. Can you explain that for me?
I think the easiest way to explain it is to think of a plant. So a plant needs water to grow. So you have your plant and you water it. But if you stop watering that plant, it doesn't just stop growing, it dies. Now the reason for this is the plant needs the water both to grow and to sustain itself. Training is water. When you look at all fields, you look at football, you look at dancing, you look at any kind of activity, people train, the world-class people train, not just to grow, but to maintain. And so if it is you stop training, it's like stop watering a plant. It's going to be at a certain height, it would have grown, but it's going to die. Now that is why we preach consistent training. Now we don't expect business owners to pay for our training year round. You know, it's going to be a bit expensive, we understand that. So what we do is we have a program where we take someone within your organization and we train them to train people. Weekly, we provide them with content and training modules of what to look for and how to address situations. So what we do is we place someone within your organization that is a trainer, and that person is responsible for consistent customer service training. So in other words, you can say that that is the gardener that waters the customer service plants.
What other steps can business owners take to improve customer service in addition to training?
I think the most important one is leading by example. You know, it's easy for us as a business owner to look at our frontline staff and say, listen, you need to smile more. You need to be nicer to your customer service, to your customers. But when you walk away and a customer asks you for something, you say, you know what, go across there and deal with that person. The employee is going to see that. They're going to see that what you're saying is not what you genuinely believe. And so for you to really get your employees to be beacons of good customer service, you first need to be that beacon. You need to lead by example, and you need to show people that, listen, the customer is the most important person here. And having the customer leave with a smile is my priority as a business owner. It's my priority as the business owner to have my customer leave with a smile. So leading from the front and treating your customers well is the first thing, and I think the most important thing besides training, that is going to help you get good customer service from your staff. Another thing is you need to empower your staff. Now, Kristle, I'm sure you can remember sometime when you had excellent customer service. It's because it was personalized service. It's because you were in that institution and you knew that what you were getting right now was not the norm. And what employees need to be able to do is to have that power to do that, to go beyond the norm and give that customer what they need at that point in time, not what the process says they need to get. So I think leading from the front and empowering our employees to give good customer service are two things we can do besides training to get good customer service.
Is there a company in Trinidad and Tobago that really understands everything that you've explained here for us today, and a company that embodies a culture of customer service?
Yes, I think that company is Nicholas Bengochea Automotive. Now, one of the things that really stands out to me, that really gives Nicholas Bengochea that good customer service, and to say that they get good customer service, is the belief in consistent customer service training. Now, when we dealt with Nicholas Bengochea, one of the things that we were very impressed with is that they said they want every single person in the company, from the general manager straight down to the cleaner, to be trained in customer service. After that, they hired a trainer who we're in constant contact with, and we provide with content to constantly train people and to remind people about customer service training and to be that champion. And I think those two things of training everyone in the company and having someone who's going to constantly retrain these people is something that gives Nicholas Bengochea Automotive that edge in customer service. And I think, to answer your question, that is what means that they get customer service. That it is training and consistent training that is going to give them that good customer service.
A cognitive computing system will try to do a similar thing as your brain. It will try to combine the information of the smell with all the other information you have. In the future, it is conceivable that a doctor will be able to diagnose a whole set of diseases based on your smell.